and welcome to Stripped Music Diary. I'm Shannon and I'm here in downtown St. Pete, Florida in front of this giant mural. I'm here to talk a little bit about the new Modern Baseball record. Also, I apologize in advance if you hear any background noise. This mural is right near a road. So this mural was done by Ricky Watts, and it was part of the Shine Mural Festival last year that happened in downtown. As you can see, there's some other murals here in this parking lot behind me as well, and they're all over downtown St. Pete. I'll probably film a lot of my videos in front of them because I really like a lot of the murals. They're a cool backdrop, and if you watch my other videos, I did film the Iggy Pop video that I filmed was in front of the Basque mural on Central Avenue. So this is behind a music venue called State Theater. It's on First Ave North in St. Pete. For those who might be local or interested and visiting, but what's cool about this mural is Alex Pardee helped Ricky Watts with it, and Alex Pardee did a lot of artwork for bands, including Cage the Rapper. And his album Depart From Me, as well as the one of the Used albums, if not a couple. The new Modern Baseball record was released this month. It's May 2016, and it's pretty different from their previous records. However, I don't believe that it would isolate any fans. So if you haven't listened to it yet and you're a Modern Baseball fan, then I don't believe it will isolate anybody at all. It's a really nice evolution for this band. I've seen this band possibly more than I've seen any other band live, just because I see them every single time they come here, and I've met them. They're extremely nice people, and they deserve all the recognition they're getting for this record. Pitchfork reviewed it. Spin Magazine gave it a really nice review. It's a great record. And that being said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the evolution of Modern Baseball from their album Sports all the way until this new album, Holy Ghost. I got into Modern Baseball 2 years ago. I was working at a hotel and I had to work overnight sometimes, and so I would listen to a lot of music, and somebody had recommended Modern Baseball to me, and so I gave the album Sports a listen, and I liked it more and more as I listened to it more and more, and I've been a fan ever since. So that's kind of a little bit of the background story. The first time I went to go see Modern Baseball, I missed them because there was a lot of traffic. People keep walking by, and it's a little awkward to be sitting here talking to myself. So I apologize for the random cuts in the video, but anyway, the first time I saw Modern Baseball, I missed them, so I guess I didn't see them, but the first time I attempted to see Modern Baseball was about 2 years ago in Tampa. I live in St. Pete. It's across a long bridge from Tampa, so we hit a lot of traffic, and unfortunately we missed them play. But I had brought my copy of Sports, and I wanted it signed, and I wanted to meet the band, so I went around back. It was at the Orpheum in Tampa, and went around back, and I recognized them. There a couple of the band members were sitting there, and I went up to Brendan and he was so nice and so warm, and I told him that we were really sad that we missed them play, and they signed the record and they hung out with us for a little bit and took some pictures. So it was really cool. It really made up for the fact that we missed them play, but we've seen them play a bunch of other times, anywhere from this Tampa skate park to Orlando, Will's Pub. There was a secret show another night. So this is over the course of the last 2 years. So I've seen them tons of times. I can attest to the fact that they are a really fun and really energetic live band. They kind of segue between, the two singers, Brendan and Jake, really seamlessly, and it's all around an impressive show. So check them out if you are on the fence about seeing them or you're not quite sure. Their first album, Sports, we saw their kind of style come about, where they're kind of singing about Twitter and some high school issues. New record is a huge contrast from that, in my opinion. It's way more evolved, way more mature. I really like the use of they use some sound effects that I never heard them use before, including in the song Hiding, there's some train noises, and Jake is talking about taking a train from Frankfurt or something. So that's kind of cool as well. And as this band has evolved, they have become more socially conscious, and that really means a lot as a lady in the kind of punk rock alternative scene. It's hard to go to shows and stand up front. I'm not that tall, so it's pretty difficult to make that decision whether you want to stand up front and be crushed by crowd surfers or jocks or people who just want to climb on you and point their finger in the singer's face. It can be really violent at times, but growing up in the scene, I just kind of adapted to it, and you just make the choice whether you want to get climbed on and be in the front for the sing-alongs and the action, or you just want to chill in the back and not deal with that. But Modern Baseball and a couple other bands like them, The World is a Beautiful Place, Sorority Noise, The Hotelier, they've made Tiny Moving Parts, I think, is another one. They've made it possible and more aware, made people more aware of those types of issues of, ladies at the shows and things like that. So I have to commend the band on that. They are really, really big proprietors of making sure everyone feels safe and feels accepted at their shows. So you have to really get behind a band that stands for something like that. And there was a really nice article I read the other day about it was on Pitchfork. It was how emo grew up or something like that. So you can Google that, and there's a lot of good quotes and some good input from Modern Baseball, as well as the Hotelier and the RX Bandits, who are a little bit older of a band, and they came up in a time when the internet wasn't really a thing. People didn't have smartphones and things like that. So basically, they kind of gently reminded people reading this article that the problem, has always been there, but people couldn't communicate it as well. They couldn't tweet a band and say, "Hey, I was groped at a show," and the band, couldn't easily find that information out and do something about it. So it's a really good read if you come across that article. So that being said, anyway, the new album is a little bit different than Modern Baseball's previous albums. They have done more of a split with Brendan and Jake doing half and half, Jake's songs are tracks 1 through 6, and then Brendan takes the record or finishes the record out. Their styles are, I feel like, getting a little bit more differentiating, but that's a good thing. I don't feel like it's like you're listening to two totally different records or anything like that. It just blends so well. It's hard to describe without, like telling you just to listen to it. It's really great, and I have nothing but great things to say about this record. I hear some of the modern baseball originating sound in some of the acoustic-y, kind of cutesy lyrics that Jake provides, but then those like darker sing-along type of lyrics that are kind of sung in like a frantic way is more of Brendan's style, and they've both just kind of come into their own, and it's really been awesome to see them grow as a band and stuff like that. So I really commend them. I'm super proud of a band who came up from just the suburbs of Philly, or they're just like normal kids who started playing basement shows. So it's really cool to hear stuff like that, and stories like that. So you might write them off like just a regular kind of run-of-the-mill pop punk band, but they're definitely not. So they do a lot for mental illness as well. They have a couple little projects that they work on for that. And if you know a little bit of backstory about this band, last year they kind of went through a tough time with Brendan had some issues with depression, and I am so happy to be here saying that he's a lot better now. And if you've watched their documentary Tripping in the Dark, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's on YouTube. I'd recommend it for anybody. I wish that this type of documentary and this type of support in the punk rock scene was available when I was younger. I had the music and I had the lyrics to Modern Baseball going public with their issues with depression and making mental illness, making more awareness for mental illness is extremely commendable. I think that mental illness should be something that is definitely talked about and not just brushed under the rug. And we all know that there is a correlation between music, especially kind of emo music, and mental illness, depression, a lot of emotions. So it's definitely about to rain, and there's a lot of people that keep coming over and taking pictures over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to my house probably for the remainder of this video. So appreciate you guys bearing with me. Sorry for the drastic change in scenery here. There were just a lot of people out there by the mural, and it looked like it was gonna rain, so I moved the party indoors here. So I really hope that if you are interested in this band, you watch that documentary Tripping in the Dark. It is free on YouTube, and order their record. It's incredible, and it's really growing on me. I'm not ready to say it's my favorite record of theirs yet, because they each hold a spot in my heart for different reasons, but this is an awesome record. I have nothing negative to say about it. I think it's extremely interesting the way the two darker themes from the two singers kind of come together. And check it out, and thanks for bearing with us on a super long episode. I'll have another one for you guys here next week. Thanks so much, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It will notify you when I post a video. You can turn that off if you don't want that notification, but that way you know when the videos come up. And you can follow us on Instagram, Stripped. I'll put the username below. And as always, we really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.